All right, welcome everybody. I am super excited to be able to hop on here, and we have Juan with us. Um, Juan's got an incredible story, guys, and so I'm excited for him to be able to hop on here, talk a little bit about his story, what his experience has been. So we're going to go ahead and jump in here and get started with that. Juan, the first question that I have for you. Tell me a little bit about your thoughts when you learned about, you graduated FCMT. Did you already know about RPC? How did that kind of all come about?
So I didn't really know much about RPC. This is still like a new field to me, but as I was finishing up the last lesson, I saw the video, I hopped on a webinar with Jeremy, I went to the interview, and I just loved every part of it. I loved the support, and it just felt like it was something I wanted to jump into right out of the gate, especially as this being a new career for me.
So was there any hesitations that you had like originally when you first saw it, or what was kind of that tipping point that went ahead and caused you to take action to move forward?
I didn't really have too much hesitations on it because of how much I saw of value. I saw how much, Jeremy spoke about the support, meeting other coaches that have been in the field for years. And just, I was shocked at how much overall training was what there was willing to be given, that I said it's a no brainer. Like, why there's almost no reason I shouldn't do RPC.
Awesome. So you learned about boot camp. I want you to talk about your experience in boot camp, what your overall thoughts were. Let's start there and we'll kind of unpack.
Yeah, sure. So boot camp, I overall loved it because there was so much training in the videos. Like, each lesson was great individually, but I loved how we had development calls. I got a chance to meet you and Lisa and Les and everybody else. And I really got to see how much more this is than walking through somebody on a baby step. And I really got to understand more of financial coaching on a deeper level. I got to learn more about myself that I didn't even know was there. But it was a great overall experience. I loved every bit of it.
So what was it specifically about like this small group calls that were really powerful for you?
For me, it was really learning what skills I like. It really showed me what skills I had that I didn't really see how they would be used in the field. Like, we really unpacked like about communication and leadership skills and listening, and how it all tied into what we do as a financial coach. And it was also great hearing from people that have been in the field, like of how to handle certain situations, what to do right. Like I said, it was a big eye opener how much more goes into it. But what I loved about it the most, in my opinion, about the development calls, is that there was somebody willing to help me. Everyone was there to answer every question. I didn't feel like unsupported in any way. That was, in my opinion, that was the best part about it.
That's awesome. So there was something that stood out to me that you shared a moment ago. You said you recognize that we're doing so much more than just looking at somebody's budget. I'm sure a lot of coaches that are seeing this, they may have those similar thoughts of, well, hey, I'm a financial coach. I know on a couple of our calls, you've been able to experience what we mean when it comes to coaching, and that it's so much more than just looking at a budget. But unpack that. What does that mean for somebody that's watching this? Help them to understand, share your experience. Tell us a little bit about that.
So during boot camp, one of my first couple of clients I got, was a lady that I actually met through Financial Peace University. And she's a young lady, and in the beginning, when she came to me, it was, hey, I don't really know how to do a budget. And then through our first session, it ended up being, she really didn't have a good relationship with money. We ended up unpacking why that was. And it went into, old habits from parents. And it went into like why she views money in a certain way. Her thought was, I'm never getting rid of student loan debt. And it was much more than us just showing her, hey, you could do this, 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 and this, and be done in 36 months. So it was, I guess for me, one of the most impactful things I saw was helping people see that light at the end of the tunnel. That's way more than just, hey, do this simple thing on a budget.
Right. You're unpacking the actual behaviors that are preventing them from moving it moving forward. We think about it, it's with a lot of our clients, it's not a lack of information anymore. People have the ability to go and do research, and that's how we come in and we support our clients as a financial coach, is unpacking them, helping them to see these blind spots, these thoughts, these beliefs that they've had for years. That's what's ultimately been holding them back from achieving their goals. That's great. So you graduated boot camp. I know you did it fairly quick. What was it? It was roughly about 2 weeks, right? Give or take.
Yeah, give or take. I don't remember. It's about a week and a half or so, something like that.
And then how many clients were you able to generate inside boot camp?
During boot camp, I got to 7 clients within my first week and a half or so. And for me, I don't know if I'm supposed to share this or not, but I literally watched the videos. Like, I know we're supposed to watch it one time, but I think I've watched them like 7 times, and I just implemented everything I learned, like play and repeat, and just put it into practice, put the work in, and it went so much faster than I thought it was going to go.
That's great. So out of the 7 clients, were any of them paid? If so, how many of them?
So out of the 7, 6 were paid. 1 was my mom. So it was pretty cool.
Right. Very cool. Okay. Awesome. So you transitioned out of boot camp, you went through, you busted through boot camp fairly quickly. Now you've been in RPC. You haven't even been in the program a full month at this point. I know you've been in RPC, a full-fledged RPC. It's only been roughly about 2 weeks. So share a little bit about your results now. How many paying clients do you have? What has been now that you've transitioned from boot camp to RPC, talk a little bit about the differences that you've began to notice and recognize.
Okay, so when I finished RPC, within the last 2 weeks-ish, give or take, I don't know the exact date, I'm now at 30 total clients, 29 paid. That 1 is still my mom. That's unpaid. And it, like I said, it just went so much faster. But for me, the biggest value that I love about being an RPC is, again, the support to another level. We hop on calls with you, Dalton, and you're awesome, by the way. Guys, you're going to love Dalton. He's the best.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And the rest of the coaches, Les and Tim and Lisa. And then I got a chance to connect with a bunch of other RPCs that have been coaches for a year, 2 years, 3 years. And I'm just really learning. They're giving me the proper guidance of not just like everyday business practices on how to follow up, but really giving me insight on how to really make sure like I get this off the ground and it's going really great. That's for me one of the biggest things I would say.
That's awesome, Juan. So just to clarify, coaches, Juan's not just selling $10 coaching sessions. When Juan's talking about his 29 clients, how much are you charging your clients, Juan?
So during boot camp, this was a big like struggle that you helped me out with in the beginning. I had a really big issue. Like, I don't know how much to charge. Some of the clients in the beginning, they were in baby step 2. And in the beginning, I was charging people $100 a session, but now I'm actually charging $200 a session. And the average client is signing on with me for a 3-month commitment, some a little bit more, but that's the average client so far.
That's great, Juan. Awesome. Okay, so you've got somebody who's looking at this for the first time. They're looking at boot camp. Maybe they're a little intimidated, but like there's this sense of excitement. What is the best piece of advice you can give somebody coming into the program or looking at this program?
Man, that's a good question. Threw me off with that one. But here, I guess my biggest piece of advice I would say is to get rid of any fear that you might have. I don't know what that fear might be for you. I could tell you that prior to coming into financial coaching, I never had any background with this. I was just really, number one, I liked what this was all about. I'm passionate about what this was. The training was there. There's people there that are willing to help you every step of the way. As long as you're willing to just put that fear to the side, put the action in, I think anybody could really become a successful financial coach with the platform we have here at Ramsey.
That's good. Juan, I just want to continue to express my appreciation for you. Coaches, something that really stood out with Juan is obviously he's somebody who's had some great success coming through the program, especially just getting started. working with 29 paying clients. And yet every time Juan is on a group coaching call and he asks, when we give the opportunity to get coaching, his hand immediately springs up. And so seeing where he is, he's already acquired a lot of success, but he knows that there's still opportunity, room to grow. I mean, he's even shared, hey, I listened to those boot camp videos numerous times. There's not a hidden secret, guys. It's really going through, putting in the effort, of course, unpacking, figuring out those blind spots in the group coaching, but recognizing that you're not alone. You're not the only one that has these kind of thoughts that are preventing you from moving forward and hurdles. And it really just comes down to overcoming those mental hurdles and moving forward. So Juan, I just, again, want to express your appreciation that we have for you and what you're doing inside the program. All right.
Thank you, sir. Same thing for you. Appreciate everything you do too. You're an incredible help here.
Thank you.